Runway's new model, Gen 3 Alpha, is now available. Let's take it for a test drive and see what it can do. From the dashboard, it is on this top spot here, Get Started, under Introducing Gen 3 Alpha. We'll just click Get Started. Brings us into our prompt box. And with Gen 3 Alpha, you can only use a text prompt. It doesn't do image to video yet. I've got my prompts worked up and saved over here in Notepad, so I'm just going to paste in the prompt. And what I've said is low angle tracking shot, a dense tropical rainforest. The camera moves smoothly through lush green foliage, revealing a waterfall in the distance. Birds of various colors fly overhead. Maybe we should put a period on that. We'll leave it at 10 seconds and click Generate. After 1 minute and 46 seconds, our video is ready. Alright, I'll buy that this is a rainforest. Oh, look, birds, different colors. Yep, there's a waterfall. That's pretty good. Okay, there's a little funkiness with that bird there. Yeah, that bird kind of disappeared a little bit, and I think this one did some funny stuff too. But overall, I mean, the rainforest looks really nice. The waterfall's beautiful. The light from the sun and everything. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good output. Much better than anything I got using Gen 2. Alright, I'm going to paste in a new prompt here, and I'll go ahead and click Generate. This prompt says, tracking shot. A beautiful woman walks down the sidewalk on Main Street of a small town. The camera moves smoothly with her as if the operator is walking backward, capturing her graceful movements. The street is lined with quaint shops, colorful flowers in window boxes, and a few pedestrians going about their day. The sky is clear and sunny, creating a warm light on the scene. We have the option here, if we don't want to sit and wait, and I guess we're afraid we might forget, we can use this desktop notification option, turn that on, and then we'll get a desktop notification when our generation is complete. And here we are with our beautiful woman walking down the sidewalk. Let's go ahead and play that. Well, this is already much, much better than what I got out of Gen 2. Oh, she does an exorcist thing. Her head just spun around completely backward on her body. So she's walking along, that's, we're doing okay there, and then she turns to the right, and then she turns quickly, and her head spins around backward, and she sort of loses her footing, which if my head spun around backward, I would probably make a misstep as well. This person over here, I'm not quite sure what they're doing or what's happening. Watch right here, and you'll see that character just pops up as a hologram and sort of floats through something, and then maybe that's why she turned her head around on her body backward. To use the 10-second video as one piece, it's not usable, but you may be able to clip out some of the seconds before her head spins around and the hologram lady appears and floats through objects. Before we do another one, I want to show you sort of how these prompts are put together, and this is from the prompt guide that Runway ML provides. The first thing it says is that prompts are most effective when they follow a clear structure that divides details about the scene, subject, and camera movement into separate sections. That's all fancy. What's it mean? Well, they provide this example. They say camera movement and a colon, establishing scene, period, additional details, period. And they give the example of low angle static shot as the camera movement, then the colon. The camera is angled up at a woman wearing all orange as she stands in a tropical rainforest with colorful flora, period. So that's the establishing scene. And then additional details, the extra stuff, is the line that says the dramatic sky is overcast and gray. So that is the recipe that I'm using for each of these prompts. For example, the last one we did for camera movement, it says tracking shot. A beautiful woman walks down the sidewalk on the main street of a small town. That would all be the establishing scene. And then the camera moves smoothly and all this other stuff down to the end is what I'm considering the additional details. But I did split it up into sections using sort of the recipe that they recommended. For the rainforest video, the camera movement is low angle tracking shot. Then for the scene, a dense tropical rainforest, and then the additional details, the camera moves smoothly through the lush green foliage, revealing a waterfall in the distance. Birds of various colors fly overhead. As far as adherence goes, I think it did well on both of these videos that we've done so far as giving us what we asked for. So I have to give it credit for that, even though there were some morphing issues in both of these videos. already getting better results than I saw before. Now you may be wondering about why I have low angle tracking shot in the camera movement, and then in the additional detail I also say the camera moves smoothly throughout. And that's because in their guide they also mentioned that if you can repeat or reinforce in another way things like the camera movement, it might help the robots to figure it out and get it right. And I think the example they used was something like hyperlapse in one part of the prompt, and then in another part of the prompt it said the camera moves fast or the camera moves quickly, something like that. Now that we've looked at the recipe for Runway's Gen 3 Alpha prompts, we're back on the video generation page, and do make sure that you have Gen 3 Alpha selected as the model. If you drop this down, you can switch it back to Gen 2. We don't want to do that. We want to stay on Gen 3 Alpha. Over on the left, down at the side, we have three little tabs here. The first one is prompt, and that is what is showing us this prompt box. We also have settings, and that'll open up these things down at the bottom, which are the fixed seed if you want to use a fixed seed, and then the remove watermark option, which is a checkbox right here on the right. The resolution is not a setting that we can adjust, so I guess it's just letting us know. The other tab over here on the side is the custom presets, and this would be really handy if you're creating multiple clips that are part of the same project, and you might want to use the same prompt over and over again, even as a starting point, if there's a lot of details in that prompt about the scene or the environment or whatever that you'd want to use over and over again, and then you won't have to retype or copy and paste. The only other option that we have on the video generation page is the length, and we can choose between 10 seconds and 5 seconds. I'm going to leave that on 10 seconds, and I have another prompt to bring in. And this one comes from the image generation project that I did recently for my brother with the Sunday school written in graffiti image. That's the inspiration for this. So we paste it in this prompt. I'm going to hit generate, and while it's generating, I'll tell you what the prompt is. It's a dolly shot. The camera moves through a gritty urban environment, showcasing various troubling scenes in the city, littered streets, abandoned buildings, and flickering neon signs. It then pans and zooms in to focus on a large brick wall covered in graffiti. The words Sunday School stand out prominently in vibrant 90s style graffiti, surrounded by smaller tags and art. The camera comes to a stop, framing the Sunday school graffiti as the focal point. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, you probably know that that prompt is way too long for me to write on my own. So what I did is I copied the text from Runway's prompt guide for prompting Gen 3 Alpha. And I said I want to create videos from text using Runway's Gen 3 Alpha AI video generator. Use this guide to help me develop some prompts based on the visions that I provide. Then I was able to provide it with simpler prompts that have fewer words, because that's where I'm happy, and it was able to spit out the prompts in the structure that's in the Runway guide and enhance it with all those details that I would never think of. So our Sunday school video is ready. It took 1 minute and 47 seconds to generate. I already see that school is not spelled correctly. That's kind of a bummer. And here we go. This doesn't look like it's a whole car. I'm not sure what's happening there. Not sure what is going on up there. Oh, good grief. This parking garage is, or building, is that a parking garage? I don't know. It's on fire. There we go. This car seems to be a front and a side. And yes. Okay, yeah, that's not what I had in mind, really, at all. I wasn't looking for a city that was in the middle of a war zone. I really was just looking for a city and maybe some glances of, well, you saw the prompt, but we ended up with fire blowing out of windows, a misspelled school. The camera movement is good. I like what the camera did, but other than that, this car has a back end that the front end shoots off of. It'll only ride in circles. Maybe that's why it's stuck here against this wall. And then there was something, okay, this is not on that building. It's because we go under this, which is interesting, but not cutting it. Now let's try something that's much simpler and shorter. I said POV shot playing with a brown Chihuahua in the backyard of a suburban American home. And it gives us a little tip down here that says, try adding first-person view to improve POV results. That could be handy, and I appreciate some guidance to get better results. And here we are. We've got a yard. I don't know that it's a backyard. Somebody has apparently backed the car into the house. It happens. That's not a Chihuahua. Oh, where, Chihuahua, no, come back. Oh my. He's going to the left, and then his front legs turn to back legs, his head disappears, he turns into like a balloon, then he spins a whole bunch. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. We're going to deviate from our prompt recipe here and try something just a little bit different, and this idea just popped in my head from one of the tips that came up while that was generating. It said something about specifying camera movements like slow pan, and that gave me this idea. We've got that dropped in, we're going to hit generate, and it's slow pan from a laughing man to an unhappy woman. The man and woman are both sitting at the same table in a diner. Having been married a few times, I know that often the things that we find funny, the ladies, not so much. We're starting off with a man and a woman at the table. There's an extra hand here that appears to be joining them at the table, right there. And it looks like they're both laughing here. The hand is still doing its thing over there. Oh no, it disappeared now. And we've gone to kissy faces, and who is this woman? Maybe she's just watching? Oh, I bet she's the unhappy woman. It just put her at a different table. Okay, so we got slow pan. We got a man and woman at a table at a diner. I'll buy that. We've got the hand. That's kind of weird. The lighting just changes completely right there. Which, okay, maybe we're moving out of the sunlight and that's what happens. But it's not the man laughing and then the woman with the unhappy face. It's they're both laughing, then they both turn to this like kissy face. And then this woman is the one that, I guess you could say she's unhappy. She's not laughing, that's for sure. These folks are well hydrated. There appear to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks on this table for 2 people and a hand. The thing's moving outside. That's oh, now the whole diner is moving? Or no, was that okay, the whole scene outside just moved, sort of like it was all a truck or something. Or the diner's moving, or I don't know what's happening here. I mean, this last little bit where we have this other lady that isn't even supposed to be part of it taking a sip of the coffee, this is the best part of the video. That 3 seconds there, you know, that's really good. Everything else about this video, to me, not usable at all. And I did say in the prompt, the man and woman are both sitting at the same table in a diner. Yeah, no good. I'm looking at the Runway ML Gen 3 Alpha page, the page that shows you some videos that have been created using Runway's Gen 3 Alpha, and this video is really nice. It's a dreamlike FPV hyperspeed fly through multiple locations, streets at night, a dense tropical jungle, underwater coral. So why don't we see if we take that prompt, what kind of result we get. So we'll come back over here to our prompt box. I'm just going to paste that in, and we'll hit generate, and it's ready. All right, we're going through the streets of the city here. Oh, that car just had an issue. Now we just moved up. Oh, that's cool. All right, we went from a rainforest. Now we're underwater. Lots of yellow fishies. All right, we're back to city. This car has an issue, and then we just drift on up through, I guess, this rainforest, and then we're underwater. All right, that one's pretty cool. And other than this car issue, I'm sure there were some other things in the beginning there. I wasn't paying real close attention to stuff on the side, and I don't know what's going on this road. I don't know what those lines mean. Hopefully the people driving on it do know, but it looks like the cars are sort of moving off in the right 2 lanes. That'd be an interesting highway. The right 2 lanes keep going on your car. Left lane, you're heading into the rainforest. That's underwater with a lot of fishies. And the sunlight coming through. All right, that one's pretty good. I don't know what the use case would be for that one, but it seems more practical than some of the examples that I see. Oh, now I did leave the word prompt apparently in the front of my prompt. That might not have helped. Might not have hurt either. Who knows? Now, if you want to experiment with Runway's Gen 3 Alpha model, you will need to be on one of the paid plans. First of all, the basic, you can't really call it a plan. It's a free trial. You get 125 credits. When they're gone, they're gone. And in my opinion, 125 credits was not enough for a trial. By the time I used up all my credits, I had zero interest in continuing because nothing was working. So either I'm a complete moron, or it doesn't work very well, or there was some kind of gap between my understanding and what it can do. Nonetheless, the latest model Gen 3 Alpha is not available unless you are on a paid plan of standard or higher. In order to show you a test drive of Gen 3 Alpha, I spent $15, so you don't have to get the standard plan for a month and the 625 credits that came with it. Now, for some reason, when I upgraded from the basic to the standard, I went from having like 25 credits to having 1,025 credits, which the math ain't mathing on that, but you know, whatever. I watched as we were generating, and each video generation, the 10-second videos that I created with Gen 3 Alpha, each one of those was deducting 100 credits. So by that math, at 625 a month, that would get you 6 of those 10-second videos per month. If you're ready to go all in, the annual plan brings it down to $12 per month for standard, which is $144 paid once per year, and you can go all the way up and spend a lot more and get a lot more. As for me, I don't think it's there yet. I think it's getting better. Definitely, I appreciate that. It's improving. I'm just not sure how useful it is as it stands at the moment. So I will not be continuing with the $15 a month deal. I'm going to sit tight, keep an eye on it, and see how things progress. I hope you found this video helpful, or at least had some entertainment, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.